clear, do you want it still funded through general taxation, or you think you need to look at the funding model?
I do not want it funded through general taxation.
Right, okay.
It doesn't work.
We are moving.
It's kind of reiterating, and this is a recent interview he had, reiterating his previous public position that he doesn't really support a publicly funded national health service. He couches it in economically illiterate terms, because he talks about he doesn't want to see taxes funding the National Health Service. He seems to want to go down the insurance route, which, as Dr. Bob has just pointed out, is fraught with all sorts of pitfalls and problems. And so people really, I think, do need to be, mindful about that, particularly the fact that if you look at the polls, it seems to suggest that Reform UK as a bloc seem to, if you kind of break it down in terms of where their support comes from, it does tend to be a larger proportion of the older population are turning to reform. Not exclusively, obviously, but it's the older population. They're going to need the National Health Service, aren't they, Bob, more than younger people are. I mean, the older you get, the more likely you're going to have. I know that from my own personal position. The more you're going to need the National Health Service, and the less sort of lucrative you will be viewed as being by the insurance company.
Absolutely. The premium is decided upon your age and pre-existing conditions. So the way they estimate your premium will often leave out the people who need health provision. So the insurance-based system is a way of not getting healthcare if you need it. You're just paying for phony reassurance that the healthcare will be there. Now, a lot of these insurance policies, particularly in the States, you pay your premium, but when you come to claim, there is what's called an out-of-pocket expense, a bit like an excess if you have a car accident. And that might run into the tens of thousands. So you're paying this premium thinking you're covered. And then unless your bill for that year exceed $15,000, $20,000, you won't receive a penny from your insurance company. So they are just sucking out premium and delivering nothing for the majority of their policy holders. And what Nigel Farage is relying on is a lack of awareness of how health insurance works, having no perception of how the Americans are coping with their privatized insurance-dominated system, and not realizing that the NHS has been led into this very poor position by the very policies that are proposing an insurance-led system. So we've had the sabotage by Nigel Farage and the neoliberal bloc, which they're now using because the public are softened up to justify a further transition to a worse, more expensive system.